Hello students, I'm Mr. Bevan. I'm your school principal. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you back to a new school year, one that has many challenges for us and one that we are very excited for in welcoming you back to a new school year and to a school building that has many changes that are designed to keep us all safe and healthy. Today I'm going to share with you some of those changes, and I'm going to share with you our assistant principals, Ms. Carmignani, Mr. McGowan, and Mr. McDonald, who are going to talk you through some of these changes as well. First, here's our administrative team. That's Mr. Masserino, our athletic director, Ms. Carmignani, the assistant principal, Mr. McGowan, assistant principal, and Mr. McDonald, assistant principal. Each of them can help you in many different ways, and they're eager to respond to your questions if you have them. First, I want to walk you through some of the key changes that we have this year in greater detail than on what is on this slide. First, I want to talk with you about the critical trifecta of staying healthy. First, we all need to be practicing good hand hygiene. There are sanitizers in each room in the building and in all the major public spaces. Please feel free to use them as you enter and exit every space and throughout the school day. Also, please make sure you're maintaining social distancing throughout the school day. That means keeping 6 feet apart at all times. This will be a challenge at passing time, and as long as you're moving quickly from one class to another, that should be fine. Finally, you should be wearing your mask at all times. That should start when you arrive at the school. If you're arriving in your car, you should put on your mask before you get out of your car and start to enter the building. If you're on a school bus, you should already be wearing your mask. You will have opportunities to take a mask break during the school day. During our passing times, which are 10 minutes, you may choose to take a route to your next class that will go outside of our building, along our sidewalks or through one of our courtyards. That is a perfect opportunity to take a mask break, which you can do by standing still, taking your time, taking some breaths, and then resuming your route to your next class. These 3 items are really critical for us all to stay healthy and safe. And I want to impress upon you that if we're all healthy and we're all safe, our school can remain open. If we make choices that don't involve hand hygiene, reduce social distancing, and don't include wearing your mask, that could jeopardize your health and the health of those around you and could result in us closing our school, which is something we do not want. We have many special procedures this year to keep you healthy and safe. First, every one of you, students and staff alike, should be going down a checklist for entry for school every day. That will include checking yourself for a high temperature and also for symptoms of COVID-19, and also to affirm that you have not traveled to certain places that would have jeopardized your health. We've asked all parents to check off that you'll be doing this each day, and it's critical that we're all doing this with great integrity every day. Also, students will play a part in keeping us all safe. That means that they will be wiping down their desks at the start of every class. Teachers will be spraying down every desk with a disinfectant solution at the end of every class, and that means every student who walks into the class that follows them will be asked to wipe down that desk as they settle in. Also, students beginning late this week will be administered or handed out IDs that they'll be asked to wear at all times. This allows us to identify students who are in the building or people who are in the building who should not be there. It also will help us with attendance, and it also will be used to pay for your lunches should you choose to do that. Also, and in a little bit you'll learn more about this, there are new traffic patterns in our hallways Mr. McGowan will tell you all about. And then again, all of our full building is outfitted with enough hand sanitization units to keep us all safe and healthy. Additionally, we're asking students to live up to our bathroom expectations, which are clearly posted throughout the building. There is no bathroom usage during passing time. We're limiting the number of students who are allowed in the bathroom at any given time to 2. And we've closed off stalls and certain urinals to make sure that that's the case. If you walk into a bathroom and there is more than 2 people in there already, you should go back out and stand in a socially distant manner from the students around you while you wait for your turn. Also, we have a few new changes that are designed to keep you better informed, and a lot of these new changes that I've just talked through are outlined in there. First, our assistant principals will be sending out and have been sending out a note that outlines what the week ahead will involve. That will include any new schedules or any expectations that you should be aware of. All the critical information that will allow you to be successful in your school week will be in that previous week's note from the assistant principals that we're calling the week ahead. Additionally, we have multiple new social media channels that allow students to gain access to new information as it's available. The best and most widely updated or most routinely updated is our Instagram feed called the Gonkgram. So please check that out, and that's a good way to check out things that are happening in the school and get school news. And now I'm going to hand it off to Mr. McGowan, who's going to tell you about some new changes as well.
Hey Algonquin, looking forward to seeing many of you back in the school next week, and I'm going to talk just about a couple things as we continue on with our slides here. So at the beginning of the school day, when you arrive on campus, the buses will be dropping off in the regular location outside the maroon office and in that entranceway up there. You can use both doors on both ends of that hallway in H200 to enter the building. They'll all be open, so feel free to come in anywhere there. The gold office and the rotunda office will be open as well, just like usual. Once you arrive in the building, you can go to the cafeteria, you can go to the library. Space will be a little more limited than typical in some of these places, but the biggest thing when you arrive into the building when you come back to school is just to keep your distance from each other and make sure that you're following that safely with each other as you go through kind of those first few days and as we go through the year. This next slide here is just a quick little overview of the hallway routes. This is for passing time only during class. If you have to use the bathroom, you do not have to go the way the arrows are pointing. You use the closest bathroom to your classroom and so forth. If you have to access the nurse or whatever else it may be, and it's during class time, you do not have to follow the arrows. But during passing time, you will. And each student's schedule is going to kind of determine their route to their next class. So be familiar with this. This was sent out recently with the week ahead. So be familiar with it and take a look at it. And feel free to ask questions if you have them. Driving to school. This is primarily for juniors and seniors who are driving to school, but to those sophomores who might be getting their license this year as well, the permit cost for semester 1 is $35, and that can be paid online on the district website. Recently, a form was sent out to parents and guardians and to the students with the registration information and all the rules and so forth that go with that. Keep in mind that if you are parking on school grounds and do not have a parking pass, there are some consequences and so forth. So make sure that you do have a form, your form filled out, and that everything else is turned in. You can obtain the parking pass. Parking passes can be received up in the maroon office. So if you just got your license or you have just completed the form, the maroon office is where you can pick up your pass and hang it from your rearview mirror. At this, I'm going to hand it over to Mr. McDonald, who's going to talk about the next couple of items.
Hello there, Algonquin. It's great to be back, and I'm very excited to see you all back here next week. So let me go into my slides here, starting with the end of the school day. So just so that you know, there's definitely some restrictions due to COVID on travel about the building, sports, clubs, and activities. If you're an athlete, you're definitely going to need to report to the C gym if your practices are later. So you have an athletic study to go to in the C gym. If you're in a club or activity and you have a meeting that day, you would need to report directly to those meetings. And if you are remote during any day, you're not allowed in the building. Okay, so reporting to the C gym, reporting to meetings is only for students who had been present in person that day. All right, extra help. Students want to schedule time with the teachers and also find out what your individual teachers' procedures are for help. So next we're talking about buses and parking. And just so this is something that you'll have to get used to in the first few days, but if you ride Southborough buses S4, 5, 6, S8, 9, 10, S13 or 14, those pick up at the back of the school outside the gold office in the afternoon. All right, so please be aware of that and make sure that you report, because it's a long walk to get to the gold office if you started out up near the maroon office, and buses sometimes don't like to wait. All right, make sure you're out there early, because we do let the buses go at 1:57. So everybody else, as you know, are in the maroon lot. That's the same as last year. So if you're driving, students must remain in their parking spot until the buses leave, and that's all buses. So don't cut in the middle of the line of buses because one started moving. Keep your eyes open and watch for all the buses to have gone by before you can start heading out. And even just start going from one parking lot to the other for sports or whatever it is. And that just allows us to help keep buses on schedule. Students will let you go at the end of the day a few minutes early in the first week so that you can take that time and make sure you get your bus. So wherever that bus is that day, you can plan on it being there in that lot every day. Next. So late buses, we do have late buses that pick up outside the cafeteria starting at 3:30 p.m. So you need to be ready to go at 3:30. The buses don't always come right at 3:30. They have other routes that they do, but you can stay in the cafeteria to wait for your bus to arrive right outside the cafeteria doors. Late buses are town specific. There should be 2 for each town, so you need to make sure you pick the correct one. And they're only available Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. They're not available Monday or Friday. Parent drop off or pick up. So your parent should pick you up outside the rotunda. Okay. And then before school, you should get dropped off outside the rotunda as well. That just helps us manage the traffic and allowing people to keep a safe distance from each other as you enter the building. During school hours, make sure to bring a dismissal note to your office. We need you to get it to us early, before 8:30. And we'll remind you if you don't, but we're going to, there could be a time where we don't accept the dismissal note because it wasn't handed in time. And you can report to either the gold or maroon office to check out, whatever's closest to where you're getting picked up. Cafeteria, here's a picture of what the cafeteria looks like. This is actually from the SATs we held here last week. They are in rows. There are desks that are 6 feet apart from each other. It is not a really enjoyable looking experience. But we'll spread it out a little bit. We have the cafeteria, and we also have the C gym that's equipped in the same way. So there's those spaces, and when the weather allows, we'll allow you to sit outside the rotunda and have some nice outdoor eating opportunities. So just this is what we ask you to do. If you are getting school lunch on a given day, we ask that you use the main cafeteria, so you're not walking through the halls with the tray of food. If you bring your own lunch, you're asked to go and fill up the C gym cafeteria first, and then of course if that fills up, then you can bring that lunch to the regular cafeteria or the outside eating area. Adhere to the social distancing markers. We'll have them in place so that when you're standing in line, you're going to be properly separated. And thanks, and I look forward to seeing you all next week.
Hello everyone, I'm Mrs. Carmignani, and I am the assistant principal for the 10th grade and the 12th grade, letters D to Z. And also for the remote academy. So I want to just go over our ALICE drills. Our school participates in the ALICE program, and that is A is alert, L is lockdown, I is inform, C is counter, and E is evacuate. We may be having modified drills through the year, but if you have any questions and you're new to the ALICE program because you might be a transfer, please come and see us or email us and we will give you more information. So when we have an ALICE drill, or actually when we have a true ALICE issue, our rally point is the Hemlock Drive neighborhood. So this is where you would go if an incident occurred. The Hemlock Drive neighborhood, if you're not familiar with it, is the neighborhood that is between the two driveways of Algonquin. So between the Route 20 and the Bartlett Street entrance. And then our reunification point, where your parents would be instructed to meet you, is at the Milliken Middle School. So as far as fire drills, we want you to make sure you familiarize yourself with classroom exit routes to use during fire drills and realize that all hallway and stairway directional arrows do not apply during the fire drills or ALICE. Students should follow directions of teachers and administrations for where to stand, and make sure that if it's a drill and you go outside, that you're truly making sure you're 6 feet apart from one another. As far as remote instruction goes, students are expected to attend their Monday remote classes. Teachers will set your expectations for the week on this day, so it's truly important for you to be there. Please do not share any of the Zoom links with anyone outside of your class. As you know, we've had a couple Zoom bombings and we don't want that to occur. And please use your full name when entering the Zoom sessions, and use your Northborough student email for your Zoom account as well. Always make sure you're visible on Zoom, and this is especially true if you would need to be authorized by an administrator to not have your video present. So if there is an issue, you need to talk to an administrator about that, and we would alert your teachers. So the class advisors, the seniors have Miss Burns and Mr. Steens. The junior class advisors are Mr. Greenwald and Miss Squires. And the sophomore class advisors are Miss Hessemeyer and Miss Lassard. The freshmen have Mrs. Zanini and Mrs. Drake. So you'll notice they have their Canvas pages. Please make sure you use them. These are great resources for your class, and we really want you to be involved with your classes. And just in closing, we really want you to know that, it may be stormy now, but the rain doesn't last forever. This is a definite bump in the road, and we hope that we're back to in-person learning for everyone very soon. As long as we stay safe and keep each other safe, we will be fine. Thank you, everyone. If you have any questions about anything on this, please contact an administrator. Thank you.